Did you know anger only lasts 90 seconds? Here's something that will completely change how you relate to your anger. According to neuroscientist Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, anger, the actual physiological response, only lasts 90 seconds in your body. That's it. 90 seconds for the chemical reaction to flood your system and then flush out. Everything after that, that's a choice. This means that when you're angry for hours, days, or even years about something, you're not experiencing one continuous wave of anger. You're choosing, moment by moment, to re-trigger that 90-second response over and over again by replaying the story, rehearsing the argument, or feeding the fire with more thoughts. Dr. Taylor discovered this after studying her own stroke and observing how emotions move through the body. She found that emotions are essentially chemical reactions that have a natural lifespan. The anger emotion itself, that flood of cortisol, adrenaline and other stress hormones, peaks and naturally dissipates within 90 seconds if we don't interfere with the process. But here's where it gets powerful. When you understand this, you can start to observe your anger instead of being consumed by it. You can watch it arise, feel it move through your body, and witness it naturally dissolve, if you let it. The key is becoming aware of the process while it's happening. Instead of being lost in the story of why you're angry, you can notice, oh, I'm feeling anger right now. There's heat in my chest. My jaw is clenched. My thoughts are racing. This awareness creates what Viktor Frankl called the space between stimulus and response. And in that space lies your freedom. Pema Chodron teaches about this beautifully. She says that when we feel anger arising, instead of suppressing it or acting it out, we can simply be present with it. We can feel the energy without becoming the energy. We can observe the heat without being burned by it. Here's what this awareness gives you: a pause, a moment where you can choose your response instead of just reacting. Maybe you realize you need to take a time out from the situation. Maybe you recognize this isn't really about what just happened, but about something deeper. Maybe you simply breathe and let the 90 seconds pass without adding fuel to the fire. This doesn't mean you become a doormat or that you don't address what triggered you. It means you respond from wisdom instead of woundedness. You speak from clarity instead of chaos. You act from your highest self instead of your most triggered self. But here's something crucial. Don't make anger your enemy. Don't try to never feel it again. Anger isn't bad or wrong. It's information. It's energy. And when we stop fearing it and start befriending it, it becomes one of our greatest teachers. Thich Nhat Hanh has this beautiful teaching about anger. He says to treat your anger like a crying baby. You don't ignore the baby and you don't throw the baby away. You pick it up with tenderness and ask, what do you need? What are you trying to tell me? When the dust settles from your anger, when you've let that 90-second chemical response move through you without feeding it, something magical often happens. The anger burns away your resistance to seeing what's really going on underneath. It's like fire burning through the brush to reveal gold hidden in the earth. Maybe your anger being interrupted reveals your deep need to feel heard and valued. Maybe your rage at being ignored shows you where you've been abandoning yourself. Maybe your fury at being criticized uncovers your fear of not being good enough. The anger becomes a doorway to understanding yourself more deeply. Rumi wrote, "Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one to come?" Sometimes anger is life trying to turn us towards something better. Better boundaries, better self-respect, better relationships. Here's a practical way to work with this. The next time you feel anger rising, try this. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, I'm noticing anger. I'm going to observe this for 90 seconds. Then pay attention to what happens in your body. Where do you feel it? How does it move? What does it want to do? Don't judge it. Don't try to make it go away. Just be curious about it. Watch how it builds, peaks, and naturally wants to recede if you don't feed it with more thoughts about how wrong the other person is or how unfair the situation is. After those 90 seconds, you can choose what to do next. Maybe you need to remove yourself from the situation. Maybe you need to communicate a boundary. Maybe you need to feel the vulnerability underneath the anger. But whatever you choose will come from awareness, not reactivity. Daniel Siegel, a psychiatrist and researcher, talks about the difference between feeling our feelings and being hijacked by our feelings. When we observe anger with awareness, we feel it without losing ourselves in it. We experience the emotion without becoming the emotion. The Buddhist teacher Tara Brach calls this radical acceptance, the willingness to be present with what's arising without immediately trying to fix it, change it, or make it go away. When we can be present with our anger, it transforms from something that controls us into something that informs us. Remember, you are not your anger. You are the awareness that can observe anger. You are the consciousness that can watch emotions arise and pass away. When you really understand this, anger becomes just weather in the sky of your being, sometimes stormy, but always temporary. The goal isn't to never feel angry. The goal is to develop the emotional intelligence to work with anger skillfully, to let it show you what needs attention without letting it run your life, to use its energy for positive change instead of destructive reaction. Your anger is not your enemy. It's a messenger, a teacher, a catalyst for growth. When you stop fearing it and start listening to it, when you give it 90 seconds to move through you naturally, it becomes one of your most powerful allies on the path to becoming who you are meant to be. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonates, drop us a heart to show you have made it till the end. These videos are made as a guide to help you reconnect with knowledge kept within you. Take what resonates within you and release the rest. Follow the page for more content, or buy my 100 Messages from the Universe book for daily guidance. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep shining your light.